Howdy folks, today we're playing Temur Discard Monument in Aetherdrift Standard. This deck completely built around a few cards, Monument to Endurance being one of them. Whenever you discard a card, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. You can either draw a card, create a treasure token, or each opponent loses 3 life. Artist Talent, it's 2 mana. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may discard a card. If you do draw a card, that's the main reason we play this card. It also has a level where you can level it up in non-creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, and then level 3 we never really use. We have Stormchaser talent to be able to get some instants and sorceries back, as well as make an otter and give us some ability into the late game. But the big engine cards of this deck, the biggest one is Fear of Infinity. It's a Temur card, which, as you can see, we have no black mana in the mana base, so we're never casting this card, but it's a creature that has when an enchantment you control enters, and whenever you fully unlock a room, you may return this card from your graveyard to your hand. So the point of it is you play a Bitter Reunion, and you do discard a Fear of Infinity. Well, you can get it back whenever a Bitter Reunion or a Dredger's Insight enters the battlefield, since it's an enchantment, or your Chalk Outline, or whatever enchantment you're casting, get these Fear of Infinities back. And they basically effectively, it lets you draw a card, because instead of discarding a card that you could use, you're discarding this Fear of Infinity, getting it back. So it really pumps your hand up. You'll see what I mean when we play the games. And while you're doing those loops, you're going to gain life with Dredger's Insight. While you're doing those loops, you're going to make creatures with Chalk Outlines and Clues. So whenever one or more creature cards leave your graveyard, create a 2/2 white and blue detective creature token, and then investigate. So pretty fun there. And we also have the Torture Tower, since it's a really good removal spell, and we'll often have clues and things left over to be able to snipe. I found this deck online on Jim Davis's YouTube channel, so I'll link it down below this video for it. But it's a super cool deck. I'm excited to play with you guys. It's a neat combo. We'll see how it does in the best of 1 ladder. Alrighty, we're going first game with this hand. Not sure if we should keep this hand or not, but I think we have a Surveillance. We can find more relevant things. We want some of our discard engines, but we'll try this. Commercial District. Keep that. That's a good draw. Opponent's playing Pixie, probably. Okay. Let's go ahead and Artist Talent. Next turn we can this town if we want to. Don't know if we do. Probably just level up this Artist Talent. We could this town or Artist Talent though. Fear of Isolation, pick it up, sure. So we have Gorge here. We could Bitter Reunion. If they do have this town, then the leveling this up isn't going to be good, but basically anything else leveling this up is going to be really nice. So let's level this up. See if they don't have a way to bounce that from us. See if we can go off next turn. Yep, opponent jams in for 3. Kaido. Okay. Sure. Kaido is good, but we get to go off next turn a little bit.
Things in a bowl of noodle. Your secrets didn't stay hidden for long.
Okay, Sanctum. Have Bitter Reunion. Okay. Let's play Bitter Reunion. Discard this Fear of Infinity. Draw a Spirebluff Canal. Don't need that one. Yep, we'll return this to our hand. Discard Fear of Infinity. Draw a couple more. Did draw Torch the Tower. So we could this town. The Bitter Reunion and a Kaido. Let's do that. Bitter Reunion, Kaido. Discard the Fear of Infinity. Let's play the Bitter Reunion. Discard a Spirebluff Canal. Return Fear of Infinity. Return Fear of Infinity. Discard a Fear of Infinity. Draw a couple cards. Dredger's Insight is good. Can't play it this turn, though. Let's get another green source on the battlefield. Discard a Fear of Infinity. Okay. We're cooking a little bit. Dredger's Insight will let us gain some life. Opponent needs to bounce our Artist Talent. Or else we're going to do some nasty things to them. See if they want to attack and just replay Kaido. I'm not sure how good that plan is. 43 cards left. You can see we're churning through the deck already, though. Artist Talent, Bitter Reunion, those are all both good spells here. We have an Ill-Timed Explosion that can get rid of some creatures here as well if we need to. They like this town, our creature. Get a map their otter, okay. And Stormchaser's town, okay. That's fine. We have this Dredger's Insight. So we can sweep the board this turn. It's probably pretty good. Let's start with the Dredger's Insight. Discard a Fear of Infinity. Try another Fear of Infinity. Okay, yeah, let's mill some cards. Turn a Shivan Reef. Turn a Fear of Infinity. Turn a Fear of Infinity. Turn another Fear of Infinity. Gain some life. Let's go ahead and Ill-Timed. Discarding a Fear of Infinity. Discard a Fear of Infinity. Draw 2 cards. Discard a Fear of Infinity. And a Botanical Sanctum, I suppose. Sweep the board. We have 1 mana up. I don't think we're going to be wanting to use this town right now. So let's just Spirebluff Canal. Get rid of these Fear of Infinities. Have a Monument next turn. Engine setup. 34 cards in the deck. Don't have our 2/2 creators, but that's okay. Restless Reef, okay. So 3/4/4/4, okay. So Torch Tower does not get it. You would need 2. Just playing the Kaido, sure. Do your thing.
Don't worry, Pom-Pom-chan. I've got this.
Ninjas get +1/+1. Okay.
Try to keep up.
Okay, let's try to Monument. Just play a Shivan Reef Monument. Discard another Shivan Reef. Chalk Outline, that's what we wanted. Play Chalk Outline. Discard this town ain't big enough, maybe? Yeah. Discard this town ain't big enough. Let's create a treasure token. Okay, get our Fear of Infinities back. Start chalking. Yep. 2/2's coming in. Bring on the 2/2s. Oh, this is absurd. This is absurd first game. Okay, good Bitter Reunion. We got 31 cards left. Yeah. Discard a Fear of Infinity. His opponent loses 3 life. And okay, our opponent gets the gist. We're gonna get back even more 2/2s. That was absurd. This deck is so much fun. GG's. Alrighty, opponent's going first. We have a talent. I mean, these are all enter untapped. Those aren't bad. Alright, let's keep this. You really want these fast lands early game and these pain lands late game. Yeah, let's start with this Stormchaser's talent. Oh, there's Shivan Reef. What do they have? Like Spell Pierce? That'd be crazy. Probably a Burst Lightning. Who's holding priority there? Blue Red, Ember Heart Challenger. Yep, do your thing. Come at me. No blocks here. Fear of Infinity's not bad. Just shoot this while we have the chance. Don't think we're blocking, so let's get in there for 2. Next turn we have Fear of Infinity, discard, draw, Swift Fear, yep. Sleight of Hand. Interesting. It's just a cantrip prowess deck. Definitely might be. Artist talent. Now that is a good draw. For the artist talent. So this is probably a counter spell. Spell Pierce might be. We'll see. No, I think we'll block. Force some monster raids out of our opponent's hand, I think, if we can. Or just some sort of removal spell. Okay, they're going to plot the Slick Shot Show Off. Okay, let's block. Okay, they're going to pass. Question is, are we going to live through next turn? If we live through next turn, then we want to level this artist talent and try to really try to win the next turn after that. If we don't think we're going to win through this turn, we can try to Bitter Reunion. Discard a Fear of Infinity. Draw 2 cards and draw something that can kill a Slick Shot Show Off. But we only have Torch of Town, we just used one, so I think we're going to level this up. I guess I should have done that in a different way so I didn't pay a life. If we lose by exactly 1 life here, that's on me. Okay, we're going to discard this Fear of Infinity. Going to discard this Fear of Infinity again. Artist Talents, Monument to Endurance. Okay. Next turn, this Ill-Timed Explosion. Can hit hard. Let's see what they have. Opt. It might not be pump spells. They might literally just be all cantrips. Put 1 card to the bottom. Another opt. Okay. One's got 8 damage here. Another spell brings them to 11 damage, depending on what the spell is. If it's Burst Lightning, it brings them to 13. Monster Trade even more, okay. Okay, brings them to 14 damage. So we can't use our Pain Lands. So likely they have Burn. But we have this Ill-Timed Explosion. Monument to Endurance. It's currently the only thing we have that we can discard the Ill-Timed Explosion. We could Artist Talents, level up Artist Talents, and then play an Ill-Timed Explosion, and then really go off the next turn. Then we lose to any prowess creature. So I think we're just going to start with an Ill-Timed Explosion and see what happens. Discard a Hedge Maze. Bitter Reunion. Torch the Tower. Okay. Discard a monument. Or this town, maybe? This town and Yavimaya Coast. Have a Torch the Tower up that we can sack a Bitter Reunion for. Go ahead and do that. Very likely our opponent just has a shock or something here, though. So let's see it. Slick Shot Show Off, okay. Opponent attacks. We're going to bargain. Actually, I think we're going to bargain the Storm... No, that's a lie. We're going to bargain the Bitter Reunion. I think we're good to keep everything in our hand. Spell Pierce beats us here. Monster Rage does not beat us. They do have Spell Pierce. Okay. Well, couldn't really do much about that. Hard to beat the faster decks in the meta. We had a shot there, though. We were pretty close. Pretty close, though. I mean, it's still a fun game. GG's. Alrighty. We're going first here. Hedge Maze, Yavimaya Coast, Yavimaya Coast, Stormchaser's Town, Dredger's Insight is good. Monuments, let's keep. I think we need to try to find red mana here. We want to play this Dredger's Insight on 2. Don't want that. Opponent knows we're Temur now. Restless Rage. Okay, that's Dredger's Insights. This way we can get a red land as well. Copperline Gorge. And we can play a Monument next turn. Go ahead and do that. Pass the turn. Now we have the Sphere of Infinity to start getting back, gaining some life. Stock up. What is this? Temur Control? Discard. Cut down. Okay. Play second Monument here. Yeah, let's do that. Pass the turn. Jace, okay. Opponent realizes that they're gonna have to try to mill us out of this game.
Focus on the facts.
Mills a Fear of Infinity for us, though. That's pretty good. We have a This Town. Can sacrifice an artifact, enchantment, or token. So we're going to sacrifice this Torch the Tower token. Yeah, we're going to get this back. Gain a life. Sacrifice this Torch, this Otter token, I believe. Land, is land any good? I think we do want lands. We want discard outlets as well, but we want land too. We have Ill-Timed Explosion is a discard outlet. Especially if they play Sheltered or Creature here, we want some way to be able to remove it. Stock up, okay. So opponent is just going to try to beat us with Jace, I think. We're going to try to defeat our opponent before that can happen. Okay, let's Ill-Timed Explosion. Plan to discard these Fear Infinities. Can draw a card and lose 3 life, probably. Draw a card, lose 3 life. Hedge Maze. Draw a card. Bitter Union's a good draw. Opponent's at 14. We're at 36. 2 Jaces kills us. See if they have on this turn or not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bitter Reunion next turn. Deadly Cover-Up. That is really good against our Fear of Infinities. Our opponent correctly found what we were trying to do. Okay. Yeah. Do your thing, opponent. That was pretty good. So now we're going to try to beat them with Monument to Endurance. Untapped land would be good. There we go. Monument. Bitter Reunion, and yeah, make them lose life that way. Opponent found the right line with the Deadly Cover-Up to hit our Fear of Infinities. They had the right play, but Monument of Endurance coming through. That was a weird game, but pretty interesting. Shows the power of the deck. GG's. Alrighty, we get to go first again. That's pretty good. Have good mana. Have an Artist Talent. Let's keep this. Starting the Spirebluff Canal. Opponent is mulligans. Maybe this is mono red. Have Ill-Timed Explosion. Probably gonna be too slow against mono red. We'll see. Maybe Artist Talent. See what they are. I just feel like when I put on mulligans, it's because they're mono red. It's not bad. Dredger's Insight. Okay, Let's get Otter's talent down. Dredger's insights, pretty good. Slick shot show off. Okay. Shivan Reef. Definitely playing the Gorge here. Do we want to just monument? If we bitter reunion, we can look for a torch tower at least. We have 3 draws at it. Could die next turn with the slick shot. Okay, I think I convinced myself I want to try to find it. We want to discard Monuments. Stormchaser's talent, okay. Discard Stormchaser's talents. It drew terribly. Okay, I'm gonna explosion next turn. Hopefully they just run out creatures. Another slick shot show off, okay. They're gonna pump them up. Do your thing, opponent. Discharge Mage's Rescue. Let me look up the text for that card real quick. Just hexproof till end of turn and +1/+1. So we'll need something to discard for 3. See if we can find that. Chalk Outline does do the trick. Okay, let's cast Ill-Timed Explosion. Discard a Botanical Sanctum. And that's all our opponent needed to see. They didn't even really know what we were going to do or how we were going to beat them, but they knew their slick shot show-offs were dying, and that was it for them. Alrighty, GG. Alrighty, going first yet again, and I don't know if this hand is any good, but I am definitely tempted to keep it. Stormchaser's talent beatdowns anybody? It's Otter time. Maybe they even give us a Hopeless Nightmare so we can discard the Sphere of Infinity? No. Okay, this is the Raise the Pass deck. Okay. I don't think we care about that card enough to torch it right now. But we are going to make some Otters. Let's get in there. We can get our Torch Tower back eventually with the Stormchaser's talent. And next turn we're going to Torch and Surveil here. I doubt we get to do anything else. Yep, Raise the Pass deck for sure. Life Creed Duo. So it's the same, but it has flying. Man, that is tempting, folks. Yeah, I think we're going to play it. Artist talent time. We're going to attempt to get in. Spirebluff Canal. Don't think we want to tap land next turn. This Torch the Tower can discard our Fear of Infinity, which is going to be nice. With the help of the artist talent. Okay. Okay, yeah, no, that's getting bigger. Ruin Lurker bad. Alright, that's his challenger to the moon. Okay, let's torch the tower. Deal 2 to this Life Creed duo. Discard a Fear of Infinity. Draw a Botanical Sanctum. Man, not a great draw. Let's pass the turn. We will block an Essence Channeler, because now we're just trying to stay alive, I think. Nothing in the yard for Raise the Pass. Okay, Endurance. Yep. Yeah, do your thing. Take 1 damage. Talent, we have Endurance. Discard a Fear of Infinity. Okay, let's do that. Artist's Talents. Okay, pass the turn. Next turn we can level up artist talent and then play another artist talent. Get back some Fear of Infinities. Make some treasures. Start doing things. Opponent's gonna be able to draw some cards, I would imagine, though. Yep, sure. Lots of life. They can never lose life. This Essence Channeler is gonna start swinging. Can't kill it. Let's be real. We needed this town to bounce it. Alright, they're not gonna lose any life this turn, I don't believe. I don't think we care about that. I think the upside to be able to block 11 life here is worth keeping this otter alive. Yavimaya Coast. Okay, question is, do we want to level this up or not? I don't think we do. Let's tap this for greens, do red here. Discard this Yavimaya Coast. Torch the tower. Do we want to draw a card here or make a treasure? I want to draw a card. Monument. Yep, return these bad boys. And we can torch this Enduring Innocence. Let's go ahead and do that. Discard this Fear of Infinity. A couple of them. Treasure. Discard Fear of Infinity. Lose 3 life. Definitely want the Dredger's Insight. Discard a Monument. Another Artist Talent. Don't think we need a third Artist Talent. Ill-timed Explosion, okay. Get a Yavimaya Coast back. Yep, we can return this back, gain a life. Turn this back, gain a life. Play the Yavimaya Coast, pass the turn. Plan to block the 13-12. Removal spell here beats us as well. See what they have. This town gets us right back in this game if they can't kill us this turn. We have a lot going on in the battlefield. I feel like we're one turn away from really blowing this thing open, so we'll see if our opponent can deny us that turn. Amalia, okay. Do they have like a cut down though? That's the real question. Mills, their Starscape Cleric. Essence Channel are getting huge. They did hit a land. Life Creed Duo. Ruin Lurker Bat. Yep. The opponent's got a gigantic board. We're going to need a this town ain't big enough and something. I mean, it might need 2. I guess this Amalia is huge as well. Bleachbone Verge. Do they have a cut down? The opponent should attack with literally everything because we're not going to block. Yeah, okay. Opponent figured it out. Just going to attack solo. Going to take some damage here. Mills a creature. They're going to scry. Opponent's got a lot going on here. Okay, the question is, what are we going to do? Put a card to the top. This town ain't big enough. Okay. So we could this town return the Essence Channeler and a Stormchaser's talent. Discard these Fear of Infinities. So we should start there, I think. Yeah, let's start there. Return this and this. Discard here. Create a treasure. Discard here. Draw a card. So yeah, now we can ill-timed explosion. Discard the Sphere of Infinity. And then play a Stormchaser's talent. Let's try to block the Himalaya. They surely have a Raise the Pass, though. Discard a Fear of Infinity. Opponent loses 3 life. Yep. Discard a Shivan Reef. Chalk Outline is a good draw. Discard 2 cards. Discard... This town just does 5. Okay. Don't care about that, then. I kind of want to keep it this town. So let's discard a Stormchaser's talent. Need to keep another one to block the Somalia. Maybe a Monument. Monument's good though. Chalk Outline, I think is what we're going to try to block with eventually down the line. Maybe there's this Bitter Reunion. Stormchaser's talent. I think we're going to decline these. Grab a bunch of these cards. Yep, come back to me. Have all the Fear Infinities in the yard. Up to 16. They raised the past. I mean, they got some nasty stuff going on. I think we lose to this Cleric if they do raise the past here. So many triggers. They have 2 triggers. Yeah. Needed to avoid a raise the past there. Close, though. I mean, this surely kills us, right? I'll just let them do their thing. Make them feel a little better about themselves. Yeah, we're just a tad too slow. They have a raise the pass. I think that, you know, them being a creature-based combo deck is going to make them have a good matchup against us. We can block creatures for days, but if we can't, if they can beat us with creatures without combat damage, I think it's going to be a rough matchup for us. And you're seeing that play out exactly right now. Good to know the deck's pros and weaknesses, though. I mean, we were doing our thing. One more turn, we might have absolutely gone off, but opponent's at 33 life. It's going to be hard to kill him from that, but interesting matchup. I had fun, though. GG's. Alrighty, we're going first. We have Bitter Union, Artist Talent, Fear of Infinity. Let's keep. Play a Spirebluff Canal, pass the turn. Real question is, how do we sequence if we have Artist Talent and a Bitter Reunion and Cacophony Scamp? Okay. I think we're just going to torch that. Maybe we can let them pump first, though. No, I think we're just going to kill it right now. We'll pass the turn. I'm waffling a bit on this. See what they do. We'll take 1 damage if they just want to attack with 1 damage. Sure. Now we got them not to use their turn on anything important. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to manifest Dread a couple times, but it gets exiled, so it doesn't matter. And our opponent figures that out and calls GG's. Well, that's why Torch the Tower is such a good removal spell, is because it exiles, folks. And that is really good in Standard when your opponent is doing some shenanigans like that. Typical mono red mind. GG's. Alrighty. Blessed by going up first again. Opponent is on the Lightning Bolt sleeves. We could turn 1 mountain to keep up Torch the Tower, but then we don't have anything on turn 2. So I think we're going to Hedge Maze on turn 1. Actually, I don't think we're playing anything blue for a while, so let's Commercial District on turn 1 in case we draw another Torch the Tower. We'll keep... No, I think we can do better than Yavimaya Coast. Blooming Marsh. Okay. Let's go ahead and Artist Talent. Next turn we can Dredger's Insights plus Hedge Maze. Opponent's on double Botanical Sanctum. Surveil first. Monument can go. Dredger's Insight. How good is Torch Tower here? Probably not that good. Okay, Botanical Sanctum. Okay, I guess we're just a Botanical Sanctum main right now. Glissa. Okay, well, now I look stupid because we discarded a Torch the Tower. Okay, well, that's got to go back to their hand, so... Going back, let's return this. Discard a Botanical Sanctum. Okay, now we have Fear of Infinity. Chalk Outline eventually. At least replay this Glissa. Really was not expecting Glissa. Another this town. So we get Dredger's Insight and pick it up again. Doesn't seem to be that good though. Let's try it. Discard this Fear of Infinity. Stormchaser's Talent. Okay, opponent surely has ways to block though. Okay, let's get a Fear of Infinity. Yep, get another Fear of Infinity. I guess we could play the talent. Surely they have removal though. So let's pass. See if we want to just keep casting Glissa or not. Okay, running it back. Discarding Fear of Infinity. Stormchaser's Talent. We're going to have a couple of those on the battlefield. They play Glissa again. Archfiend, okay. Certainly fine with Archfiend. That means we want to get this chalk outline down. We could play Artist's Talent and Dredger's Insight. We could like level it up and play Dredger's Insight. Let's try that actually. Discard this Fear of Infinity. Yep, bring those back. Definitely want the untapped lands. Sure, we'll take this back. Gain some life. Either way, we can't play anything though, so let's get another blue source on. Discard both of these. But now we have an untapped land for next turn. Have a couple of monuments, then we can make treasures. They have Glissa, that's fine. Yep, do your worst, just for 6. Glissa coming back out. Looks like Glissa's coming back out. Restless Cottage. Fear of Infinity. Okay, let's try to chalk outline, I guess. Let's discard Copperline Gorge. Yavimaya Coast, okay. Yep, let's get these back. Get these back, make some 2/2s. Play a monument, I think. Discard a Fear of Infinity. Dredger's Insight is fine. Let's play a Stormchaser's Talent. Discard a Fear of Infinity. Create a treasure token. Fear of Infinity, yep. Get these back. Opponent's gonna go for the throat, okay. It's fine. We want a Dredger's Insight because gaining 2 life every time is pretty good. We're gonna need to gain life to oppose this Archfiend eventually. Okay, gonna draw a card. 23 cards left. Fear of Infinity back, sure. Get it back. Discard some Fear of Infinity. Opponent loses 3 life. Okay. So the thing here is our opponent can Wrath the board, and that would be pretty good. Double Unholy Annex. Sure, I don't care about that really. Okay, we're going to block everybody in front of the Glissa. What if we don't block? So opponent's going to go up to... No, I think if we block everybody, we're going to die to this Archfiend. So actually, we're just going to not block and try to kill them next turn, I think. Maybe I should have blocked with a 1/1. Sure, that's fine. Shivan Reef. Can make everything cost... Well, I already did that. Okay, we can get a card back. We can get a this town back. So opponent's at 21. Let's start with a monument. Discard. Hedge Maze. Go ahead and lose 3 life. Let's play a talent. Discard Copperline Gorge. Timed explosion. Let's create a treasure token. Let's lose 3 life. Let's take this back, sure. Take it back. Take it back. So we can try to ill-timed explosion and not discard anything. Opponent's at 15. We just need to cast 2 spells here. We could return Torch the Tower back. I don't think that's really that good. We still have a treasure token here, so we have 5 mana left the rest of the turn. 6 mana. Ill-timed explosion probably draws us something. Probably draws us an untapped card, so let's do that. Let's just draw 2 cards. Yep, we'll discard a Fear of Infinity. Okay, let's draw a card with the Endurance. Create a treasure token. Torch the Tower should be lethal. Discard Spirebluff and Botanical Sanctum. We have 12 cards. Yep, have to draw a card. Deal nothing. Bitter Reunion. Yep. What are we at? 11. Bitter Reunion. Discard a card. We're good. Decline. Decline. Discard a card. Yeah, we can discard a Fear of Infinity. Draw a couple cards. Give everything haste. Pay the 1. I know we could have got another Stormchaser's talent in there, but we already had lethal. Opponent is tapped out, so Wow, did our thing there. That was impressive. Deck showed out. I mean, that was super fun. Let's hit the wrap up and talk about it. Alrighty, we're back with a wrap up for Temur Discard, and this deck is super fun. There's so many different lines you can take. There's absolutely no way I played this deck perfectly. But that's kind of the joy in this deck, is that you can just play it a bunch, get better at it, find your spots, and increase your win rate over time, because this deck, I feel like, does have a high skill cap with how you want to sequence your spells. Very fun, though, even if you are not perfect playing the deck, like I certainly wasn't. You can see I could absolutely go off with the deck. You can beat a lot of different strategies with this deck. I don't really know what your awful matchups are. I think, super aggressive decks certainly can get under you. There's no question about that. So if you play, mono whites or, Boros aggro, let's say, that probably is a tough matchup, but beatable. I mean, we do have Torch the Tower in our deck. We do have Dredger's Insight that gains life, Stormchaser's Talent to block, Ill-Timed Explosion to Wrath. Like, we have game against those decks. This time big enough to bounce. Just not a great matchup. But a lot of these mid-range focus decks, you should be able to run them out of the game. Pixie, I think, if you have a reasonable draw, you can just be doing more things than they're doing. Cool deck. You're not like 80% in any matchup, but I don't think you're like 20% necessarily in any matchup either. This deck, you're going to be in a lot of games. You're going to feel like you had a chance, as long as you draw your Fear of Infinities. I think, we didn't see it much, but I think this deck is at risk of just never finding Fear of Infinity in your first 25 cards, and you just kind of fizzle and lose. So there is sort of that aspect to this deck, but you see so many cards where it's not that likely to happen. I'll caveat that we did go on the play a lot with this deck, so if you're on the draw a lot, maybe your mileage changes and you get blown out by aggro a little more, but you certainly can see the power of what we were doing here, and it's super fun at the same time. So if you have the wild cards or whatnot, and you have a lot of these cards already crafted, I would play the deck. I wouldn't expect for it to carry me to Mythic. I would not play this deck and expect to win so many games, or even maybe as many as I did. You could see, as talked about earlier, I was on the play a bunch, but I think you could have a lot of fun, and it would be worth the craft. So many of these are not rares. You might have Stormchaser's Talent, because that's a very prominent rare. You might have Monument to Endurance, because that's a rare. People have been playing. Ill-Timed Explosion's been in the standard. It feels like forever. You might have that rare. Mana Base, you can probably play around with it if you want to change it up a little bit, but a lot of people have Mana Bases. So really the only card I feel like people are going to have to craft that they don't have much of is this Artist Talent, which is a rare. But you do need it for the deck. So if you only have Artist Talent that you need to craft, I'd say it might be worth your 4 wild cards or whatever for Artist Talent. Because it's that fun, and you can see you can build different strategies with this deck and whatnot. It's cool. It's cool stuff. So check it out. Hopefully you don't have to spend too many wild cards to make it. And craft it if you think you'll have fun. Don't craft it if you don't. If you don't like to cast, spells for 1 mana with the Artist Talent and turn through your whole deck and worry about if you're going to draw out or not, maybe it's not for you, but I think that qualifies for a lot of Magic players, because it kind of gets that kid in them going again. So that was sweet. Hopefully you guys check out this deck yourselves. And yeah, until next time, wherever you are, whenever you are, have a magical day.